What you say and what you do does matter. What's up, family? What's happening? It's Thursday. Time to get a little sharper. Good. Have a good week so far. Yeah, here to make it do what it do again. Another Thursday. Thankful and blessed to see this day. So hopefully you're good. Hopefully you're real good. So yeah. So my wife is gonna be chiming in here very soon. So we're gonna get her on here. Hopefully she add on up in here in a second. But oh, there you go. There she go. What's up, baby?
Hello.
Hey, hey, hey. You having fun over there?
I am having lots of fun over here.
Good deal. Hey, look. So I'm gonna have to jump into it because I can't I can't get off on my tangent too much today because I have an appointment here in another 20 minutes, 18 minutes now. But anyway, so but look. First of all, I got to say thank you again to everyone who's reached out and shown love and congratulations on my re-election as president. So just want to say thank you for that. Um, Much love to everybody. I truly appreciate the support. But the work starts now and it continues now. So looking forward to these next couple of years that I have in order to, Lord willing, to make a difference in our great organization, the National Boating Association. So I'm truly thankful for that. Um, Next, I'm always, as I always try to encourage you, we try to encourage you. Live your dreams. Go for it. Find a way to make it happen because you only get one chance at this thing called life. Go live your dreams. Find a way to check the boxes. You might not be able to do it all at one time. I ain't saying do that, but start checking some of them boxes off on your list. If you don't have a list, you might want to start putting a list together and start checking them off. Live your life. Enjoy this thing, right? So, all right. So now let's get into it real quick. Genesis chapter 46. Babe, you got anything you want to say before we jump into it real quick?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. So Genesis chapter 46. Here we got, now it's that time. Joseph, last week we talked about Joseph revealed himself to his brothers and then he sent his brothers back home to get his dad and told him, look, get everything and bring them back. Y'all just come on here, live here. There's a huge famine going on that's causing a lot of problems, right? And so he was like, instead of y'all staying in Canaan and struggling, y'all come on here to Egypt. And so he sent his brothers back home to go get I'm sorry, hopefully there's not too much background noise there, but he sent his brothers back home to go get his father and told him to bring everybody, all the family, bring everything that you have. And that's exactly what he did. He went back, grabbed everything that he had, and so they made the move on over to Egypt. But before they actually got to Egypt, if you read in chapter 46, that's where we at, Genesis chapter 46. You see where it says where he stopped at Beersheba, and basically worship God. He gave God praise and worship at Beersheba. And why was that important? That was important because his father and his grandfather also did the exact same thing. And remember, they both, when I talk about his grandfather, that's Abraham and Isaac. His grandfather is Abraham, well, formerly known as Abram, and then Isaac, his father. They both actually made an oath with Abimelech at that place called Beersheba, which was a well. And so, and they also at that place they also heard from God. And as Scripture tells us, that's exactly what happened here with Jacob slash Israel. He stopped at the well of Bathsheba, and God spoke with him and told him, "Don't be afraid. Go on to Egypt." Basically telling him, "Look, I got you. Go to Egypt. I got you. Everything is going to be well, and actually your descendants are going to flourish. So go to Egypt. I got you taken care of." So he pretty much, I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what he said in the Bible. Okay, God didn't say, "I got you." He didn't say that. That's Ron's vernacular. Okay, so but he's just basically letting them know everything is going to be fine when you go to Egypt. Okay. And so that peace of mind right there helped him continue on the journey that he had to go to Egypt. And when he also, as go in that direction. He put his son Judah in front to lead them. Okay, and as they went on, they actually stopped in was it Goshen? Hopefully I said that right.
Goshen. Goshen.
Goshen. Okay, there you go, Goshen. And actually, Goshen is part of Egypt, but it's not where Pharaoh and Joseph actually was located. Okay, so they went to Goshen, and that's where they set up shop there. And so that's where the family reunion took place in Goshen. And so the Bible in chapter 46 says where Joseph went to Goshen to meet them. And when he got there, that's when all the tears started flowing. All the tears started flowing. And you can only imagine, just imagine if you hadn't, and I said this last week, imagine you going 30 plus years of thinking that your child has passed, only to find out that your child is actually alive. And then you actually have that reunion. Can you imagine being reunited with your child that you thought was lost for over 30 years? Babe, you got anything?
Well, just going back to where Jacob went to, worship God and to just consult God before he went on this journey. To me, that was significant and important because as a result of that, God gave him some words to hang his head on, to rely on.
Hmm.
And some, in our lives, when we consult God
Yeah,
first, he will give us some words to hang on so that when the difficult time comes to us,
yeah,
we can remember those
yeah,
words, things like, I got you,
yeah,
or, I'm
yeah,
holding you up,
yeah,
or,
yeah,
I'm keeping you,
yeah,
and we can reflect on those words, and that will give us an extra push, you
yeah,
know, or strength to get through the
yeah,
challenges
yeah.
of our own journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I hear hope and peace in that as well. you
Hmm.
know, you know, there's a level of peace. There's a sense of peace that comes with knowing that God is he's letting you know, look, I'm with you. I got you. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. That's what his word says. And so we have to hang our hat on his word, and it's exactly what's happening right here with Isaac as he's making his way to Goshen. I wonder what keeps saying Goshen. I don't know why, but
Well, it
but
could be
he's making his way to
God.
Goshen.
You never
Yeah.
know.
So he's making his way to Goshen. And so that also gives him that extra oomph because he's going to Goshen, still not even 100% sure of what's really going on, even though they told him, look, Joseph is alive, you know, but there's nothing like knowing until you actually see it and touch and feel and hold it yourself, you know, you have that anticipation, but until you actually witness it yourself, there's that still a little bit of a doubt, right? And so, and then you're going to a strange land as well, because you also got to understand he's going to Egypt, and 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 they're well, not Israelites, but Canaanites, So, uh, but basically, there's not a great relationship, a strong relationship, I should say, between I don't want to say the races, but between the two groups of people. And so he's going to a land where he knows that they're not really well received in. Okay. And so that also adds a little bit of, I ain't sure about this, but I'm trusting God on this. And so what we learn from that is that we're going to have to trust God on some things, right? And that will always look right, feel right. This is nothing new that y'all have heard me tell you before, but maybe I just have to remind you, God is trying to lead you somewhere, trying to make some things happen in your life, trying to make some reunions, make some reunite some things in your life. You're going to have to trust him. You're going to have to trust him. You're going to have to trust him, okay, with everything, okay? And that's exactly what's happening right here with Isaac. I mean, with Jacob,
Jacob.
he's actually going all in and trusting God on this move to Egypt. And so when they get to Goshen, like I say, he's reunited with his son. So there has to be a sense of relief right there, knowing that after 30 years, I get to see my child again. I get to hold my child again. I get to hug my child again, right? Can only imagine how powerful that moment was. And so when they get there, they finally, after the tears done stop flowing so much, they can finally get to talk and and communicate with one another. There's instruction that he gives them. And this is what I said at the very beginning, that not only what you do, but what you say matters. Because what happened here is that, in order for them to live in that land, again, they go into a land in Egypt. Goshen is part of Egypt. And in order for them to live there peacefully and not have no issues, there was a way that Joseph told his father when he got in when he let me slow down, when he had to have a conversation with Pharaoh. He told him of specifically what he needed to say. And I'm going to tell you to read because there's a long passage at the end of chapter 46. But basically, he told him, don't tell him that you're a shepherd. Just tell him that you took care of the livestock. Okay. So he gave them specific direction on what to say when they met with Pharaoh, because Pharaoh was going to ask them, what was your occupation? And the reason why this was important, because again, what's the word? Shepherds were repulsive to Egyptians. Okay, so that was part of that strain. As I was saying, there was a little bit of a strain between the Egyptians and the Canaanites, and so of the Jews, however you want to put it, But anyway, there was some issues between the two of them, and so how they presented themselves, what they said, mattered. And so that's pretty much chapter 46 right there. But the main thing I want us to get out of chapter 46 is that we're going to have to trust God. Okay, we're going to have to trust God with everything we do and everything that we say. Okay, trust God that He got you. Okay, it might not always feel good and look good. You're going to have some doubt. You're going to have I'm not sure what's going on or if I'm even doing the right thing. But there's a peace that's going to come with that when you're doing what He called you to do. Okay, babe, you got anything?
I just wanted to say that what Joseph told his father to tell, or his family to tell Pharaoh. Um, the importance was so that that Pharaoh can give them the okay to
Yeah.
settle in the land of Goshen,
Right.
which
Right.
was important because God had promised, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to make their descendants a nation.
Yes.
And so that allowed them to live separated from
Mhm.
the Egyptians and not become immersed within the Egyptian
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Okay.
that
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
was God's plan, so that they
Yeah.
can build build themselves up as almost a separate nation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
again, that is that's how the uh, Israelite people were born at that or that nation was born at that moment
Yeah.
in time.
There it is. Read chapter 46. I always tell you every week, read chapter 46. Read it for yourself. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut out. I have to cut out because I got to be downstairs in 2 minutes. And so maybe I see you in a few. But look, thank y'all thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging with us on Thursdays. This is an important time for us. And hopefully you got something out of this. But Lord willing, I'm gonna see you again next Thursday. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna be in chapter 47 on next week, unless the Lord says something different. But thank you again. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Again, pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Go make it do what it do. We're going to see you next week, Lord willing, next Thursday at 6:30. Love
All
you.
right, love you. Okay. Bye.